we were to ask you the question, what's a healthcare spending account? How would you answer that?
Yeah. So if I was sitting across from you as a business owner, I would say, unless you like paying more taxes for your health and dental expenses personally, you should have a health spending account if you're running an incorporated business.
Andrew, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us today.
Yeah, you betcha, guys. Thanks for having me. This is great.
What exactly is an HSA? What is a healthcare spending account and how do they work?
There's a lot of terms that get thrown around. Traditionally, a lot of people will call it a health and welfare trust or a health trust, cost plus plan, medical reimbursement plan. But all of them fall under the one acronym that matters is PHSP. You'll hear that too. I want a PHSP. And usually what people are asking for there is a health spending account. And that falls under the legislation that we have for private health services plan. If you run an incorporated business and you are active in the capacity as an employee within your corporation, you're trying to draw as much money out of that corporation tax-free as possible. It really benefits you financially on the tax side to draw that money out and have your corporation pay for you and your family's personal medical, health, and dental expenses, versus just drawing out income, paying tax on that and going out and paying for things at the practitioners that you need to go to. It's really a win-win type product once you wrap your head around, not having to draw that $5,000 out to pay all these dental bills. You can keep it in your corporation and it will pick up the tab and you'll get reimbursed back personally for your out-of-pocket expenses, all tax-free.
And business owners set this up on behalf of their employees. If you've got someone who owns a company with 2, 3, 4, 10 employees, does an HSA work?
If they don't have benefits, it's a really nice way to enter into sort of the benefits industry where you're going to set a budget and you're never going to go over it. And if employees end up not needing as much as you've offered them, you save all that money. And so there isn't this monthly premium getting withdrawn from your account, whether employees use it or not. Right. And if they don't use it with an HSA, you don't pay the bill.
What if you aren't in Canada? Say you're on vacation, something happens, or say you're traveling and something happens, or if you wanted some better attention to your health specifically, you wanted to go down into the US to get some care taken and running it through your HSA. Is that something that you can do, whether it be US, Mexico, other places in the world?
Currently it is. If it's eligible in Canada and you're getting a practitioner in the United States to do the same thing, it's eligible. We have a lot of clients right now that are doing this because of the backlogs in the Canadian healthcare system. So we are seeing people who are running successful businesses not wanting to wait 2 years or 3 years or 5 years for a knee surgery or a hip or something like that. They can get it done in 3 weeks if they go down to the States and have it done. So you just want to kind of keep in check too that, you're not really going above the reasonableness test of that sort of 10 to 15%.
Are there limitations on what you cannot do on an annual basis?
CRA produces the medical expense tax credit list, which is our guideline for what we are allowed to reimburse for. And that's like 99% of everything that you can do. So if it's not on that list, it's basically ineligible.
I'm wondering about a question when it comes to the actual system on how it runs. So for instance, if I go and I will go into the dentist and I get a cleaning and I walk out, it's $120. How does that work?
First of all, you got to tell me who your dentist is, because for $120, I'm getting ripped off.
I knew you were going to say that.
94, almost 95% of our users literally open up our app, log in, take a picture of whatever receipt they've just incurred, and find out the result within a couple of days. We also allow business owners to pay as they go, and that's a little bit unique to us. Some other companies do it, but many don't allow it. So take a picture, wait for the result. We'll email you how much money is needed corporately, and you can pay us as an online bill payee, or you can set up a pack arrangement where we will pull those funds the following week. Has to be easy. Otherwise, it's not worth a business owner's time.
Can you fund an HSA and have X number of dollars that's sitting into it that the employees can just use for whatever means necessary that's within the eligible expenses, obviously, for that calendar year?
There's a couple ways to do it. They can pre-fund, but the money will just sit there until claims come in and then go out the door. They technically won't incur a business expense until a claim is paid. I wouldn't recommend that. I might seed the account with maybe 10% of the total potential annual cost, just so that the employees get reimbursed really quickly. As soon as the claim is approved, it goes into the next payment run that goes out, which we do every day. And then there's a final monthly invoice where you'd say, okay, this is how much we actually spent on the healthcare spending account in September. And that would be your deduction.
So if I was a business owner that had multiple employees, say 15 to 20 employees that were working for me, and I had a private plan that I was already paying for from a premium perspective, how competitive, or why would I use an HSA over this?
There's kind of two ways to answer this question. First, I think there's the need in a group that size that you probably do want some form of benefits in place, especially on the pooled side for life, disability. I don't know if I would recommend getting rid of at least that portion of it. The vast majority of clients that we onboard for HSAs are actually getting the HSA as a top up to that group plan. Finding good workers right now is tough. Keeping your workers around is also tough. Adding these perks with tax-free benefits, even taxable benefits with wellness spending accounts, is very, very high on employers' radars, and it's a tax-free way of doing it. Sometimes they'll do some fiddling around with the group plan coverage amounts. They might strip some things down so that they can free up a little bit of money to add the HSA because they feel like it's not being well used in certain areas. Why would we pay premium for that? Let's bring that down or cut that out, and we'll add it into an HSA, which is flexible for the employees to use wherever they need to use it. And I think that's probably the number one reason. You get this much money, but we're not going to dictate to you what you have to spend it on. So you can use it all for glasses, or if you're really a heavy chiropractor user and you run out of your $500, 2 months into the year, well, now you've got another $500 or $1,000 that you'll get 100% reimbursed for after every chiropractor visit. That goes a long way from a psychological standpoint for employees.
Thank you again for taking the time to go through healthcare spending accounts with us. And if any of you are interested in learning a little bit more about healthcare spending accounts, feel free to reach out to us at connectwealth.com. Feel free to reach out to us at connectwealth.com. Feel free to reach out
guys.
at connectwealth.com.